everyone. Hi everyone. This is Charlotte from Colorful Teaching for You. I am so glad that you're here. I apologize for the delay. We've had a couple of issues with Facebook Lives for the last couple of days. Um, so what I want to talk to you today about is procrastination, but a form of it is prioritization, and we're going to look at how to prioritize like a champ. I am so excited for this topic because oh my goodness, we've had so much of buzz around social media about the concept of focus and productivity. So let's get into it. But just so you know, these are huge topics. So we're going to kind of break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces for you. Before I forget, there are a couple of links that I'd like you to check out. One of them is a video that's actually going to be done by April 1st. That's if you want to teach your kids how to move from procrastination to productivity in 3 simple steps. And the other one is a link to my freebie educational resource library. And for this particular episode, I've created a planner for you that's also in that library. So let's get to it. Now, let me tell you something. I am the queen of urgent. What about you? If a paper is due tomorrow, I'm gonna pull an all-nighter. If if there's information about a celebrity that I follow, guaranteed I am going to be on every social media platform possible because I've got to know what's happening, right? If I don't find out, it's not going to be in my newsfeed tomorrow, and I'm not going to know. Now, really, do you see the problem though? That a lot of us, we run after the next urgent thing. And this is something that keeps us from prioritizing. It's a struggle that especially, not just adults, but especially children have. So what I mean by this is urgent is, let's say tomorrow, I have an assignment due. And it is urgent because if I don't do it, guess what? My grades are not going to do really well, right? I'm going to do pretty poorly in school. So that's something I've got to get done. But if it's due in 2 weeks, it's not urgent, so am I going to do it? Probably not. Not until it becomes urgent. For some of us, we might get right to it. So that's what we're talking about. Why exactly do we do this? Urgent, for some of us, gives us a sense of adrenaline rush. Some of us, it gives us a sense of drama. And for others, it gives us a sense of importance, like we're needed. So when that phone rings, or when you get a text message, you'll be there. I'll be there. So the problem, though, is that when children are going through this, they're having a difficult time because they don't get the difference between urgent and important. What's urgent is generally something that's related to somebody else's goals. What's important is something that's related to you, to your goals, to your dreams, right? It's generally long term as well. Urgent needs to be done right now. Like for my boss, I need to get that assignment in, got to do it tomorrow. So that's what I mean by urgent and important. And that's something children often struggle with. Have you ever worked on an assignment and handed in your best work based on delivering urgency? So if it's due tomorrow, some of you might say, yeah, I hand in my best work because I just get right on it and I zoom through it. But is it really your best work if you're handing it in at the last minute? I can tell you for a fact, I've pulled all-nighters when it comes to school, and by 4 a.m., if I'm done my assignment, I don't have time to proofread. I can barely keep my eyes open, let alone proofread, let alone actually come up with a creative way to present it. So we need to get away from that. And a way to do that, many people are going to say, there's 2 things they'll say actually. Don't do a to-do list. Don't create one. And you know what? For a lot of us, creating a to-do list is just not going to work. And then there's others that are going to say, create that to-do list. And for some of us, it doesn't work, but for many of us, it does. But if you just write that to-do list and you do nothing with it, you're just hoping that you get it done, oh, it's not going to work that well, is it? So we are going to take that list and we're going to, jazz it up a bit. So here we get into the actionable steps. And this is where, my friends, I want you to either grab a paper or Oh, well, get a paper, get a pen, and if, oh, there it is. Get yourself some highlighters, scented, even better. Oh, this is where my husband laughs at me because I get so excited about scented highlighters, and he's like, that's the teacher in me. Anyways, you can get those, or I have, like I mentioned, in my freebie resource library, I've got a planner ready for you so that if you're in a classroom, you just print it out and you can use it over and over and over again without having to recreate it. And it's free. But if you want, grab your pen and paper and let's get started. So what I want you to do is write on that page, write your to-do list. Everything that needs to get done, write it down, my friend. Write it all. Step 2. Beside each of those things, look at it and tell me which one is urgent. Whenever it's urgent, whichever is urgent, write a big U beside it. Okay? Step number 3. This is where the fun begins. You're going to take that highlighter and you are going to highlight every single thing that is important. Now remember, urgent is something that it's not always, but sometimes related to somebody else's goals. It also needs to be done right away. At least to those people. It's like, it has to be done tomorrow, and that's it. But for what's important, it's your goals, your dreams, what's important to you. Okay? Now, beyond that, if you are teaching children about this, I'd love for you to ask them to take a highlighter that they really like. So choose a color that they really like, preferably a nice bright one. And the reason you're highlighting it is because I want you to actually look at this. That's what I want to stand out for you. What's important. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take another piece of paper or flip the page, and if you have space to conserve, the environment, instead of using a million pieces of paper, you could write at the very bottom, but you're going to fold that page in half. I don't want you looking at that top page once we get through this segment. So in step 4, you're going to divide that page into 3 columns. 3. And the first column, you're going to transpose all of the things that you highlighted. So everything that's important goes in that first column. In the second column, this is what's important. If you just look at your important list, you're not going to do it because it's long term. Oops, sorry. Got a little excited there. It's long term. It's not going to get done. Or it might, but very slowly, right? So what we want to do is we want to create urgency. We're going to get it done quickly. So in that second column, you're going to create urgency. Here's what I mean. So if I have an essay due in 2 weeks, I might not want to get it done. But if I say, all right, I need to get that done today, just the introduction is going to get done today. And I'm going to get it, I'm going to set a time for today, 8:30. It's right now 5:40. Oh, good gosh, I need to get that done ASAP, right? So you don't have a lot of time, and you've got to get it done. But if you just create the urgency in that second column, you may not want to do it. But if you add that third column, you're going to have incentive. So if I don't get it done, what am I going to lose? If I get it done, what do I benefit? So maybe if I get it done, I get to play that video game, or I get to answer my phone, or I get to go out and have some coffee with friends. But if I don't, guess what? I don't get to do any of that. I get to sit and work through it, right? So look at, again, important, urgent, add urgency and incentive. Super important here. Now, the next step after, when you're done this, is I want you to be able to spend at least, this is step 5, spend about 1 to 2 hours every day. Might be too much, so maybe every couple of days, but write it down when you're going to do it. Every couple of days working on this list that's important to you. And then, my friends, you are going to then work on step 6, which we'll get to in a moment, but I want to give you 3 pointers with this, what we've talked about so far. So if you are working with children, you can't just leave it at this. You need to explain to them why it's important. Why are these tasks important? So if a task is a chore, why is this chore important? If the task is an assignment, a homework assignment, why is it important? How is it related to their life? If you don't do that, it's going to mean nothing to them and they're not going to take ownership of their learning. Okay? The second section of this step that I'd like you to think about is taking away all distractions. So that phone, adios, my friend. It goes away into the next room and the ringtone is off. Okay? Just for the time that they're working on it. Then they can have it back after. Now, The third step is add some white noise to your learning. So some kids like music. If you have kids that don't like it, either give them, especially from the classroom environment, give them noise cancellation headphones or have them work maybe to the side or something. But for most kids, if they like white noise, add that in to help focus. If they don't, you know your children, create a space where it's quiet for them. Okay? Now the sixth step, I don't even need to worry about it because I know you'll get to it and it's urgent, right? All of the things that you wrote, the U beside it, so that's your urgent list. I know you're going to get to it. That's what you get to after you worked on some of your important work. Okay? Now, let me make one thing clear. If your kids are going to create this list, you have your list, it's yours, you get to do it. If your children are doing it, it's their list, they get to create it, not you, my friend. I know we want to do it for them, we love them, but we've got to let them do it because it gets them to take ownership. It adds a motivation, level of motivation for them. In fact, take it a step further. Let them decorate it. Put it up for them, right? Post it up on a wall or something. Let them see it. So that gives them that excitement. Oh, look, this is mine. I'm going to work on it. Okay? Now, in today's world, everything is urgent, right? Like I remember, refer back to that first thing I said. I have an assignment due. That's urgent. Is that important? Yes, it's important because of my grades. But I said that I had to go check for celebrity news. That's urgent because it will go away. But is it really important? Do I really need to get it done? Can I not just Google it and find out some other way? Can it not wait? You see what I mean? So talk to them about that difference between urgent and important. And remember to explain the why. Okay? So let's recap, my friends. Let's recap. First thing is we talked about what's the difference between important and urgent work and its relevance to our lives. We also looked at how to create a plan. So how do we create that plan? We write our to-do list. We put a U beside everything that's urgent. We highlight everything that's important. Transpose that onto a separate piece of paper that's divided into 3 columns. Important, urgent, incentive. And we then work on our list at least 1 to 2 hours every day or every couple of days. So we make progress on something that drives us either professionally, academically, or spiritually. It betters us. It's better for us. So we work on that, and then we look at what's important. I mean, not important, what's urgent. That's the last step. Then we get to the urgent stuff. Now, it's your turn. I would love for you to create your list, and I also would love for you to, if you want, print out the freebie for you and get started. Also, remember I did mention there is a third link there that I'd love for you to click and check out. It's a link for a course that I've created that takes you from the very beginning steps of procrastination all the way to productivity. We're going to work on it hands-on, just like step by step, hands-on method, and you won't be alone because I'm going to be with you every step of the way. So I am so excited to see you, and in the meantime, remember to create, experience, and teach from the heart. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Same place, same time. Take care. Bye.